Wolverhampton, they proved again last night that it will be a tough game anyway. So that's a situation. Nothing else to say. We don't have to resume. We don't have to summarize or whatever the season and think about what happened. I said it. If we will do it, we will do it. If we will not do it, there are no regrets. As long as we give always our best. And I saw that the whole season from the boys. But still, the season, however it ends up, is only the first step in that area. It's not we are not finished, a finished article, whatever, to say, okay, so that was the last year they played together. But we start that. We started this year with this team, and we will carry on, and then we will see.
Mohamed Salah has been away as far as Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world, which is incredible anyway. So, what do you think about that? And is he back, and is he okay after the travel? Yeah.
Traveling these days nowadays is no problem anymore. So it would be more problem if his car is broken. He has to walk from here. You had that, huh? So that's pretty comfortable. Yeah, I'm very proud of that because. People in football, we are obviously a lot on television, in newspapers, stuff like that, and most of the time we don't say really smart things. But Mo is a very smart person, and in his role, very influential as well. And so he said a couple of really good things, and inspired obviously some people, hopefully on one side to overthink a few things, and on the other hand side he got. Other people got aware of him and saw that in the world in a moment. It's very important that you have a voice like Mo's voice. It should not be his first job, obviously, but it's very important that he has still an opinion and makes that opinion public. So I was completely fine. We always say football is not the most important thing in the world, but in moments when you have to prove it, then you have to be there, and that means, okay, of course you can miss one session. That's what he did, and today we'll be in training, and everything will be fine again. And I saw a few pictures, so he looked brilliant in his, what is it, tuxedo or what? Wow. And saw that he met a lot of famous people. Mrs. Targaryen, she was there as well. Yeah, if he would have asked me, maybe I would have joined him. So, but he didn't. So, no, it was obviously very interesting and very good experience. So he's back and everything will be fine.
Yeah, brilliant for Mo Salah. There you can see him on the cover of Time magazine. They did do various different covers to celebrate different people who were nominated on their list of 100 most influential people, but the Egyptian king there, Mo Salah, one of that 100, meeting Jimmy Fallon there. Oh, meeting lead singer of Queen in the
movie.
King, lead singer of Queen.
Yeah, I like what you've done there.
Well, Rami Malek, the actor who played
Is it magnificent?
You were a big fan of that movie, Ian?
Yeah, because I'm a big fan of Queen and Freddie Mercury, and he done him justice, man.
Right. Also in Night at the Museum, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, playing an Egyptian, interestingly enough. Anyway, I'm digressing a little bit.
No worries.
But the point is, he went off and he missed a training session, but something like that is going to just bring him back far more buoyed, far more up for this clash than just running around at Melwood.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and you've got to realise that, and everybody's got to realise is what he's done at Liverpool has elevated him to the status he has now, you know, in respects of how people see him around the world, you know, with all respect to Roma and everything he's done, but it's what he done at Liverpool last season and what he's doing at Liverpool now is what's propelled him into the stratosphere in respects of 100. That is an unbelievable list to be on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Good luck to him. It's magnificent.
All right, the other list that he's at the top of course, right now is the scoring charts in the Premier League, even though supposedly he's not had such a good year. He does seem to be a little bit in better form now, though, after he had that break, a kind of warm weather break in March.
Yeah, he went through a goal drought. It was a really difficult time for him. Luckily for Liverpool, Sadio Mane was scoring during that time, so that was crucial for them and their title hopes. But Salah looks to be back to his best, and, you know, whenever he gets the ball now, you just feel like he's going to score again, whereas I think during that goal drought, there was a couple of moments when you thought, oh, he looks a bit unsure of himself up front. But now he's, you know, clearly he's happy again, I think, back on the pitch. And something like Liverpool letting him go to New York for that, I think that makes him an even happier player, you know, coming back and knowing just how... Because, you know, Jurgen Klopp was talking about it, he's an important player on and off the pitch. He's a role model now for so many people. So letting him do something like that, you would hope, ahead of a game against a already relegated Huddersfield side, would just boost him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, it does look like an easy fixture on paper. The thing is, though, the pressure they're under, Liverpool, at the top of the table with Man City doing so well, makes every single fixture, whoever it's against, become a really tense affair. And we saw this last weekend against Cardiff.
Yeah. Absolutely. And the thing with the Premier League is that Liverpool in the position they're in, and they still have to win all their games. And, you know, Liverpool have been right up. And if Liverpool win all their games, Jay, that's 97 points or something. Can you imagine if you don't win the league and you've got 97 points? You can't really complain. They can't do any more to try and win this league, Liverpool.
All right. They're in with a chance of the Champions League as well. Of course, Barcelona coming up the first leg of that next week. But, I mean, it looked easy enough from those highlights. But the first half at Anfield against Cardiff was tense. And it might well be this weekend, or am I stretching a little bit here? Do you think Huddersfield can really shut Liverpool down or hold out against them? I
think they'll go into that game thinking that they can try, but I don't think that they will. You know, the reverse fixture was 1-0 for Liverpool. I think Salah scored in that game as well. And, you know, Liverpool have won their last 5 games in the Premier League at Anfield, so they've got a good record there. And, you know, with the crowd being that they will be like tonight, I think it will be a Liverpool win, a comfortable one as well. I mean, I saw Huddersfield against Spurs recently.
Yes.
And they started that game off really badly. And they looked much better in the second half, but by that point, they were already a couple of goals down. So I think this is one that Liverpool should feel quite confident in winning.
All right, Man City, I think they did the same to Arsenal as well.
Yeah.
Huge upset on the cards tonight at Anfield. Yeah.
No, you know, like I say, I never underestimate any team in the Premier League because that's what the Premier League's all about. But the fact is, Liverpool knowing that they need to win this game.
Right.
And the firepower that Liverpool have, the fact that Huddersfield are already down, yes, they're going to put up a fight. You would expect that. But I can't see anything other than a Liverpool win simply because Liverpool have had people come to Anfield and be very frustrating, and they've got it done. So at this stage where they need to get it done, they're just going to keep knocking on that door.
Yeah,
fair.
Yeah, I mean, what's been interesting is, you know, throughout the season, when the pressure's been on Liverpool, they have been delivering. I think in recent seasons, you might not have always said that they'd be able to cope with the pressure. But this season, they seem to have kind of been able to handle the pressure, particularly playing either before or after City. They've been handling the pressure really well, and you just think, who's going to blink first? Will it be City or will it be Liverpool? This could be a tricky game for Liverpool, but I think the fact that it's at Anfield, I think that's what gives the Reds the edge.
Right. Yeah, Liverpool fans, I think, will be looking for them to rack up the scoreline against the Terriers, and if there is a banana skin this weekend, that it falls to their title rivals Man City, who are taking on Burnley. Man City have faced Burnley twice already this season and beaten them 5-0 on both occasions. Could it be, though, that things will turn out differently when they visit the Clarets? Let's hear from the Man City manager, Pep Guardiola.
So after a difficult week where you've had Spurs and then Manchester United, how difficult is this game against Burnley going to be? Just as difficult, but in different ways?
Always is. Always it is. For the way they play, it's very special. They do really well what they do. And you have to prepare. We are prepared, and especially because it's at the end of the season, the last games, and everybody feels the pressure, you know, to win the games. But today day off, the people rest, and tomorrow going to prepare what we have to do to try to control Burnley's strength points. Last season qualified for an incredible position, and this season fought a little bit more in terms of results in the beginning because handle 2 competitions sometimes is not easy, but a lot of credit. I said before, when that happened in November, December, or January or February, that helps a lot. And that's happened from Liverpool. In that period, it's better from Liverpool than us to be involved in the Champions League semi-finals in that competition. You are not tired, you are not absolutely not feel anything of pain and nothing. So that is not involved. That is in a better position to be in Liverpool position, being in semi-finals, than not being in semi-finals like it's in our case. But when we are in this, especially in the toughest month here in this competition, is December, January, February, when they have 2 weeks in a training camp, and we have to be here every 3 days, playing every 3 days, that is a big advantage for the opponent. I'm really concerned about this game against Burnley and after Leicester and Brighton. So I'm just focused on that, especially right now in there. So always analyze how many titles or at the end of the season will be at the end of the season. But not, I said before, it's not going to change my opinion of what we have done this season and how many titles we can still lift the end of the season. So all respects for my players, and of course all respects for what Liverpool has done. So only I can say.
One game at a time for Man City and Pep Guardiola, who's experiencing the joint tightest title race he's ever had. The previous one of this ilk was in 09-10 rather, Barcelona, his team, up against Real Madrid. And they led them by 1 point with 3 games to go. And, of course, they won their final 3 games, which, if they do that this season, will mean 14 wins in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what they're capable of. They're an amazing football team. And like I say, you have to give Liverpool credit just for hanging on to their coattails. But this game against Burnley, you know, and like I say, I keep saying, the Premier League, I still think there's something to happen.
The twist. There's a twist out there.
Yeah, it can't. I don't think it can just run out and just that they win all theirs, Liverpool win all theirs. I just feel like something's going to happen. And when you look at this fixture, James, it's just got something in it. And then you look Leicester, who beat them, like you said to me, Vic, who beat them earlier. There's more to come.
You think?
I really do, yeah.
Twice they've faced Burnley already this season, and twice they've beaten them 5-0. Have you seen something, Vishali, in the last couple of weeks in the Clasico, maybe on Monday away at Stamford Bridge, that makes you think that they can produce a result like last season when it was actually 1-1 between these two teams?
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the fact that they lost 10-0 on aggregate, didn't they, to City in the FA Cup and the Premier League. But